how far are you prepared to go? That is, with training. Is this a summer training or is this a life training? Once I was told that every year the gym is filled with people who are determined to train. And as the year progresses, less and less and less and less people is at the gym. So they make a decision, but they're not prepared to go the distance of continuing to train throughout their life. So it is good that we tell ourselves we're how far we're willing to go when it comes to training. Training is one, a decision, two, a determination, and three is a mental attitude that we must have and maintain. That is daily. We need to remind ourselves of the decision and continue. We can start well, but continuing is the challenge. The reason is the same as anything at life. Life gets in the way. Our schedule change, our job change, our family change, and we have to decide if we're willing to go the distance in training as situations come up and down. So ask yourself, how far are you willing to go with respect to your training? And make a decision. If it's summer training, okay, there's no problem. But if you're willing to go the distance, mentally you must be determined. You must make the decision and realize that daily you need to make that decision to continue. Muchas personas encanta muy bien cuerpo. No encanta gordo, encanta flaca. Muchas personas mi pensar, sueño para muy bien cuerpo. En muchas personas voy al gimnasio para poco tiempo, entonces no encanta por más. Pero cuando tú encanta cambio de cuerpo, flaca, pues tú es gorda, es necesario, tú piensas y entiendo, no es solo un día, es toda tu vida, es mucho tiempo para el ejercicio y el treno. Entonces necesito tu piensa duro continuar tu el treno para cambio tu cuerpo. There is a saying that we should know our limitations. There's also the flip side that we should push ourselves to see if we can overcome what we think are limitations. Sometimes there are mental limitations that we make for whatever reason. Once I read that when an elephant is young, part of the training is to tie the elephant to a stump that he can't move. And as the elephant grows up, he's tied to that same small stump, but in his brain, he thinks he can't move, so he doesn't move because he was trained with that limitation in mind. In fact, sometimes we have a similar limitation. We feel or we think we can't do or go beyond a certain point. So we stay there like the elephant tied to that little stump, even though they're a few thousand pounds, and we do not try to move or to fight and go above the limitation that we've made for ourselves. Those limitations aren't real. Telling ourselves that we can't exercise because we have work to do and we have a family. Not necessarily. There's a lot of people with work and family that exercise. So there's some limitations that we put on ourselves that are not necessarily correct. We need to get rid of those and do what we need to make the changes in our life. Then there are some limitations that are realistic. We may be 180 pounds and we want to bench press 600 pounds, and now we're at 200 pounds and we think that in a month we're going to get to 600. Then that may be a little bit too much. Give yourself a little time to grow and the muscles to grow, or else you'll injure yourself. That's the problem with real limitations. Real limitations, when we push our body beyond those limitations, then it's damaging and dangerous for us and our bodies, and of course we suffer and our family suffers. So know the difference between real limitations and those that we put upon ourselves, and because of which we don't do what we should. Cuando personas piensa ejercicio en el entreno, es mucho tiempo tu cerebro habla nunca en el tren. Es no necesario para ti, pero es no necesario correcto. Entonces es necesario tu piensa correcto. Voy al tren, tu encanta. Necesario tu es duro en el tren, duro en piensa y continúa en el tren. Pero cuando tú estás en el tren es fuerte, escucha tu cuerpo. Cuando tu cuerpo es duela, entonces suave. No es bien cuando es mucho duelo cuando tú estás en el tren. Escucha tu cuerpo, pero voy al tren. Entonces cuando es más fuerte, ok, en tu cuerpo es el duelo, ok, poco suave para tu el tren. Pero el tren es necesario, cuando tú entrenas, tú piensa, escucha tu cuerpo. Make it happen and close the deal. If you have thought about a training method, training routine, or a gym, or it could be that you have created a particular training schedule which you think would be beneficial, close the deal. Go ahead and do it. Sometimes we find a gym, we find a trainer, and now we sit and we think about it. No, you've done the work already, so now it's just a matter to follow through. And that's the idea with training. It does take some research to find a good trainer or a good training routine after you know which direction you want to go. Then we have to close the deal. Just go ahead now and follow through on what we've set our mind to do. Cuando tú piensas en el trainer, tú miras para muy bien persona, para el trainer, o tú miras para muy bien gimnasio, entonces ahora necesito tu voy al trainer. No más piensa. Es bien tu piensa, es bien tu pregunta, pero es necesario cuando tú tienes un gimnasio, tienes una persona buena para el trainer, necesito tu voy al trainer. Throw this negativity or negative play in our ability or in our wanting to train and get ourselves where we need to be. Well, sometimes it plays a great role. Really, it should not, but oftentimes it is our thinking that is affected. Today's not a good day. I don't think I can continue. I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can look as good. All these negative thoughts are sometimes what affect us and affect our training. Sometimes we start well and we continue. And because of this negative thoughts enveloping, our job is getting busy. I don't think I can continue. I don't know if I'll be able to maintain the schedule. And we discourage our own self and we stop. So truth is, yes, negative thinking and negativity plays a large role in our training or in our determination or non-determination to train. So it is a battle continually. We'll never totally get rid of negativity, negative training from within ourselves and our mind, sometimes even from other people, but it is part of training, and it's a day-to-day battle that we have to fight. When our mind tells ourselves that, okay, our schedule is too busy, I won't be able to keep this up, perhaps today you can't train, and that's realistic. You get home at 12 o'clock at night. You have to get up at 6 o'clock. Okay, you can't, that's okay, but then there's tomorrow. Doesn't mean you can't train. It means you may not be able to train today, but there's another day. And that's how we just have to look at it. We have to overcome the negativity each day, and as it comes to us, to affect our training and continue our training. Sometimes for weeks we have to do what we can. Maybe it's an hour here, an hour there, until our schedule gets back to where it needs to be, and then we can continue doing what we have to do. So we face it, maintain a positive attitude. An hour is better than nothing. Half an hour is better than nothing, and this way we can get over it and just keep going. El problema en el treno para mucha persona es persona. Mucho tiempo. Es persona piensa. Mucha persona piensa es mal. Entonces persona no va al treno. Muchas personas encanta trainer, pero cuando tú es tu cabeza, tu piensa es mal, tú es no voy al trainer. Entonces, el primer problema es yo. En cuanto tú es bien para el trainer, entonces otro problema voy. Pero primero es tú. Necesito tu mental es bien para el trainer, entonces tu es otro problema. What is some of the evidence of progress? Sometimes it's difficult to see yourself. That is, that you have changed, you have progressed. However, if it is that you're doing cardio and you can do more after a few weeks, then you know that you're getting stronger. Your legs and your body's getting more toned, though you may not see the difference. The fact that you can do more than when you started is obvious that the muscle is growing. Similar with weightlifting. If you're lifting more after a few weeks and after a few months, then obviously you're getting stronger. You may not see change, may not see result. A lot depends sometimes on how much the fat mass is. Sometimes underneath we have the muscle, but we can't see it because there's a large fat mass. We need to lose that as well. One of the biggest way to see change is to ask a friend, someone else that knows us, possibly that haven't seen us for a while. Sometimes I find because we see ourselves every day in the mirror, it is hard to see our change because basically we're seeing all those gradual changes. Someone who haven't seen us for weeks can say, wow, your arm looks different, your body looks different. So the latter, I find, is one of the best ways to see change. Ask a friend. Ask someone that trains at the gym with you that knows you. Ask someone that haven't seen you in a while. And then they can have a better idea to see the change in your body. A mucho tiempo personas en el treno, pero personas piensan mi cuerpo es mismo, es no cambio. Pero es no todo verdad. Cuando tú el treno es más tiempo, entonces tu musculoso es más. Pero es mucho tiempo tú no mirar, pero otra persona mirar. Entonces es bien para tu pregunta, persona. Mi cuerpo es mismo, mi cuerpo es diferente, tu esposa, tu amigo, tu amiga. Y entonces muchas personas no miran, pero otra persona mirar. Tu cambio cuando tú estás en el treno. Where are you going? That is, in life we need to know where we're going so that we can devote our efforts solely or mostly to that goal or that direction, so that we're more likely to be successful. And it's the same with training. Have an idea as to where you're going when it comes to training. Are you trying to bodybuild? Is your intent to build mass? Are you trying to tone? Is your intent to get a toned body? Know where you're going with bodybuilding, then you can build a training routine around that to focus and reach that goal. If you're just trying to tone and you spend most of your time doing bodybuilding, mass lifting, or even powerlifting, you may gain muscle underneath, but it may not be effective in burning the calories that's necessary for you to get that toned look. If, however, you want to build mass and you're spending so much time doing cardio, which is more for toning related exercise, and your rep is so high, then you may not build the mass because you're burning away everything and you're not putting it back. So if we know where we're going when it comes to our training, then our training style would be different. Our eating style would be different, so that we can focus and push ourselves to the direction in which we want and more likely reach our goal. Cuando persona encanta el treno, es mucho diferente el treno. Pero esta persona entiendo. Me encanta el treno para cuerpo diferente, o me encanta el treno para me es gordo, necesito más flaca, o me encanta el treno solo para vida. Cuando tú entiendo por qué tú encanta el treno, entonces el treno es diferente. Tu entreno es para más flaca, que tú es gordo. Entonces es mucho cardio. Corriendo, caminar, es diferente. Cuando tú encanta el entreno para musculoso, grande, es diferente. Es mucho fuerte ejercicio. No es mucho cardio, corriendo, no necesario. Entonces es necesario tú entiendo por qué tú eres el trainer. Cuando tú entiendes, entonces tu trainer is different. Today while training, my friend said that he didn't feel like coming to the gym, but he came and did the best he could. It's funny, I didn't feel like going to the gym today either. I thought, well, tomorrow. But then I remember saying, do what you can today. So I went, did the best I could. I can't say that my workout today wasn't as I would have liked it, all the energy of the drive and everything like that, but I was glad that I went. And I trained that day. I stuck to my schedule. Many times with a schedule to train, we may not be in the mood, we may not feel like it. And sometimes, just like my friend and I, we have to go anyway if we want to maintain a regular routine in training. Muchas personas encanta el treino. Mucho tiempo personas no encanta por ejercicio, es mucho trabajo, personas es cansado en casa. Entonces cuando es tiempo para el treino, personas no me encanta. Pero es necesito tu voy el treino. Cuando tú es cansado, cuando tú es mucho trabajo, necesito tu voy en el treino, continuar el treino. Cuando tú voy al gimnasio, entonces tú voy el treino. Es no necesario duro el treino, pero es importante tu voy el treino a todo el tiempo.
You watching NoGlowCat.com. Yeah.